This is Ferrari's first ever electric car, but it doesn't even look like a real Ferrari. What have they done?
The Luce is the biggest Ferrari ever made. It's longer than an Audi Q8 and wider than a London width restrictor. Have fun driving this around Knightsbridge, guys, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Many Ferrari customers don't actually care about performance. They want a car that looks good on their social media feed. But I think this thing looks dreadful. The front is a little bit like a cyberpunk Fiat Multipla, and the side resembles a reskinned Jaguar I-Pace. Some of the wheel designs are good, but those roulette wheel rims belong on a Tesla Cybercab. Yuck. However, its worst angle is around the back. It looks like someone crashed a 360 Modena into a random Chinese EV. Hard. And it isn't just me who hates it, because look what happened to Ferrari's stock price when it revealed the Luce last night.
It's already dropped by over 7% today, which has wiped approximately £3 billion off Ferrari's market value.
So how on earth did they screw up so badly? Well, they didn't, because this car wasn't actually designed by Ferrari. It was created by Apple designers Johnny Ive and Mark Newson. So no wonder the car looks like a first-generation iPhone from 2007. Thankfully, the Luce's tech is more Formula One than mobile phone. Yes, it's electric, but the quad motor setup produces 1050 horsepower, so it's very, very fast. Engage launch control using a switch mounted on the roof, and Ferrari says it'll do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds, so about the same as most average Chinese EVs. Pin it for longer and you'll max out at 193 miles an hour, which is actually faster than a Porsche Taycan Turbo GT. I like that stat, and I also like the interior. The elegant steering wheel is absolutely gorgeous. The layout is clean, and I love the fact they've kept physical buttons, but given them a 21st century makeover. Okay, so the screens look a bit like a giant smartwatch, and the air vent on the dashboard does look a bit like it hasn't been screwed in all the way. But compared to the fussy, complicated interiors you get in most high-performance cars, this is actually a breath of fresh air. And if you look over your shoulder, you'll spot something else new. The Luce is the first Ferrari to come with a bench seat in the back. So unlike the Pura Sangue, which is a strict four-seater, this new EV can carry 5 people. But will anyone actually want to come for a ride? Well, I think that a fun car should put a smile on your face at 30 miles an hour and at 130 miles an hour, whether that be from the noise, the vibrations, the acceleration, or the sheer spectacle. Electric cars are fast, but they lack drama. Has Ferrari fixed this? Well, see those pedals behind the steering wheel? The left one controls the regen braking, a bit like downshifting, and the right one controls how much torque you get from the 4 electric motors. Each pull gives you an extra shove as you accelerate up to a combined 990 Newton meters. Okay, so this doesn't seem that different to what Hyundai did with the Ioniq 5N.
That's good, isn't it? I'm jealous!
And AMG is trying this with their new GT 4-door. However, both those cars use synthesized engine sounds to complement their fake gear changes. Ferrari has done things differently because it relies on whirs and hums of 4 electric motors to keep you interested. Basically, it's supposed to work like an electric guitar, which uses pickups and an amp to turn the vibration of tiny strings into ear-popping melodies. But I have my doubts. A Ferrari is supposed to sound like being locked in a shipping container with a claustrophobic lion, not like an air conditioning unit on steroids. So is anyone actually going to buy this car? Well, the market for very high-end EVs is unpredictable. Rolls-Royce managed to sell just over 1,000 Spectres last year, but things haven't been so rosy for performance brands. Lamborghini and Pagani have both cancelled their intention to develop their own dedicated electric cars. And even Lotus, which is Chinese-owned, has moved away from EVs back towards high-performance hybrids for its new supercar. Initially, I thought Ferrari could force its customers to buy a bunch of Luces to get their names on a list for the next exclusive hypercar like an F80 Aperta or SP4. This would help lower the brand's fleet CO2 emissions and bolster its famously healthy profit margins. But Ferrari's CEO has spoken out directly against this, saying that forcing their customers to buy an EV would be the biggest mistake. And they went even further when their chief marketing officer told petrol heads in general not to buy the Luce. So why on earth did they bother building it if they don't want people to actually buy it? Well, Ferrari sees internal combustion engines and electric vehicles as 2 separate entities, a bit like cats and dogs. A Great Dane owner would never consider a Siamese cat, and vice versa. So rather than try to build an electric car to win over the tifosi, Ferrari built a radically different car that it hopes will appeal to EV lovers. Basically, young tech millionaires who've never owned a Ferrari before. So how does the Luce stack up in terms of EV stats? Well, the battery is absolutely gigantic. Ferrari doesn't quote a usable capacity like other brands, but the gross figure of 122 kilowatt hours is huge. But what about the range? Well, Ferrari has designed a clever front axle that can completely disconnect the motors from the wheels when you're cruising to save energy. And the Luce's body is also the most aerodynamic in Ferrari's history, and it can lower itself by 10mm at speed to reduce drag even further. So how far can you drive it on a single charge then? 400 miles? 500 miles maybe? Actually, the claimed range is only 330 miles. I expected a bit more than that, especially considering the Luce, which means light in Italian, isn't actually that heavy for an EV. It tips the scales at 2,260 kilograms, which is almost 400 kilograms lighter than the BMW iX M70. Ferrari has managed this by using the giant battery as a structural element in the aluminium chassis. This reduces weight and increases stiffness. As a result, the Luce has 35% more torsional rigidity than the Pura Sangue, and I wouldn't exactly call that car floppy. It also has a version of that car's rear-wheel steering system and a further development of the F80's active suspension, which replaces old-fashioned anti-roll bars. So it should handle better than most 2.2-ton EVs. But there's one thing we haven't discussed yet, and it's something that could make or break this car: how much it costs. Well, there's no easy way to say this. It's £474,000 starting. That's over 100 grand more than a Pura Sangue, and even more than the electric Rolls-Royce Spectre. So will this be a bright new chapter for Ferrari, or a forgotten footnote in its otherwise illustrious history? Well, I'd love to find out for myself, but after this video, there's almost no chance of me ever getting to drive one, unless some owner lends it us for a drag race, which they probably will actually. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, because that one day will be coming up.
At the first sight, I never believed. When I saw you for the first time, I changed my mind. Your eyes and your smile are a fantasy. I need